Hello and welcome to today's live English lesson with me, Richie, here on the AM Language YouTube channel. Yesterday, unfortunately, we did not have a successful lesson. My computer stopped working at a really bad time. So it was a really unfortunate lesson yesterday. So yeah, yesterday's lesson didn't happen. However, today, hopefully, the problems have been solved. Um, and we are now going to look at expand your vocabulary. Okay, this is to increase the range of your vocabulary. We're going to look at lots of different things, and hopefully, at the end of it, I want to try and bring in a little bit of yesterday in terms of what I hoped to, in terms of what I wanted to do. Irina F, hello, good afternoon, privyet, welcome to today's lesson, and as always, thank you for joining. So I am going to include a little bit of yesterday, but from there, hopefully we can use it as a platform just to also develop other type of words as well. So we won't just stick to verbs necessarily, but today I hope just to try and increase the range of vocabulary that we can use. And in some cases, I might use a word that you guys, hopefully I come up with some words you guys haven't heard of before, but it becomes very clear and very obvious in terms of how to use some of these words. I'll wait just a little bit longer for more people to join. Just to remind everyone that this week it's going to be a bit of let's see, actually, because I forgot what I had planned already. I mean, I had said it yesterday, except we ran into technical problems. So I will tell you again what we have planned for today's, for this week, actually. So we are over here. So yeah, yesterday was supposed to be irregular verbs, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Now today is meant to be expand your vocabulary bank. Let's see how that goes. It should work. Word collocation patterns. Today's lesson and tomorrow's lesson is they go hand in hand, really. When you learn new language, you need to make sure that you learn how to use the new language, and for that requires something called word collocation patterns. So that's something we'll look at. Thursday, what's the missing word? Friday, film English. So that's what we can expect in this week's, that's what we can expect this week anyway, in terms of lessons on YouTube. Leon Dina, hello, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson and thank you for joining. Very good to see you here. And so far, we don't seem to be experiencing any technical problems either, which is great, because that would be annoying. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a little challenge, actually. Let's see if you guys can work out what this word is meant to be. Go with all right. So here we go. Let's go with okay, let's see if you guys can work out what word that's meant to be. I'm just going to start off. These are words that I expect people to know, but let's just see if you guys can work out what the words are at the same time. So that's A. I'm going to give you another one. And let's go with this one. Let's see. Okay, let's see if you guys can work out what these three words are meant to be. Two of them shouldn't be too difficult. The third one, we looked at, actually, it was a word that if you had been if you were in the lesson yesterday at the very beginning, this is a word you would have seen. So let's see if, okay, so, oh wow, Leondina, really quick there. Laughed, bear, and beset. If others agree with Leondina, let me know. Alida, good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. And thank you very much for joining. Much appreciated. Great to see you. So Leondina says that A is laughed, B is bear, and C is beset. Now, I can tell you that those are the correct answers. Now, we looked at bear yesterday, and we looked at beset as verbs, as irregular verbs. And we had got to the point where we had established that bear is another word for carry, for example, like to carry a weight. And beset is talking about a problem of some kind, or some kind of trouble. But obviously it's a verb, not a noun. But that's what it's talking about anyway, in terms of its meaning. To give you an example of beset, because I know that the lesson sort of stopped just as we were getting into it, we could say the social problems that beset the UK. If we wanted to change this around, we could say something like, so if I wanted to paraphrase this sentence, we could say, we could see the UK has these social problems. If you wanted to use beset, you can say the social problems that beset the UK. That's part of a bigger sentence, obviously. But that was just a little recap from yesterday. Let's get into today's lesson now. And yeah, the idea here is that we're going to try and extend our vocabulary. So let's begin. I'm going to start off a little bit simple, and we're going to work our way up a little bit. Now, I'm always going to give you a nice simple word to begin with. However, the question is, how many words can we think of? So I'm going to start off with a nice simple word, okay? And that is big, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the first letter of a word. So I might say, let's say, I might go with S, okay? And then you will have to try and think of a word that begins with S that has the same meaning as big. If you can't think of the word, then you can move on. But in this case, it gives you a clue. And the word would be sizable, for example. I might, in some cases, give you a couple of letters that could perhaps help you out here. So let's see how we go to begin with. Okay, so we're going to start off with that. Let's go with word beginning with H. I'm sure most of you might know. We're going to go with a word beginning with G, and it's got actually the first three letters of this word is G-I-G. And then let's go with four. Beginning with V. And finally, let's go with 5. Okay. So we're looking for words that have a synonym to the word big in this case. We've got sizable. Now over here I put 1, and you've got more than one possible word, obviously. But I gave you a clue, that is S, so you then need to think, and you can come out with sizable. Now I'm going to help you out a little bit more as well. Okay, so I'm going to give you some clues. Okay, so I'm going to give you a clue in terms of number of letters. So number 2, okay. Oh, wow, some of you were really quick already. So huge, gigantic. Oh, wow, interesting word. But you're not sure about the 5th one. Okay, well, we'll see if you are correct. I am going to give you, I will give you some more clues as well. I mean, look, I can accept voluminous, I suppose. I mean, that's not the word I had in mind, but I will accept voluminous. It's a good one. So what I was going to say is, guys, some extra clues over here. Number 2, you've got a total of 4 words, okay? So number 2, you've got 4 words. 3, you've got 8 words, if I've counted correctly. For number 4, got 4 words as well. Number 5, 10. I'm going to give you a little bit more clue, by the way, about number 5. So I'm going to give you more letters that can help you out. Okay. So I've given you part of the word here for number 5 because it's a bit longer because there are 10 words. So if you agree that 2 is huge, 3 is gigantic, let me know. Let me know what you think about 4, because that's going to just be 4 words. Sorry, 4 letters. And then number 5 is the hard one with 10 words. Okay, so a leader's coming with monumental. Well, if you agree with the leader, let me know in the live chat section, and then I'll let you know what the answers are. And then we'll probably have a little look at context as well. Context is always going to make a bit of a difference. So let's see. So a leader thinks 2 is huge, 3 is gigantic, 4. Okay, so we're not sure about 4, but Alida and Leondina agree with their answers except 4. So the only one that they're not sure about is 4. I'm going to give you a clue. We'd use this to, for instance, say it's a area. Okay, to explain that this is a large area, we could also say something improvement. Arena F has come in with vast. Okay. Well, let me tell you what the answers are. Okay. So number 2, we have huge. Okay, which is correct. 3, really good one, gigantic. Number 4 is vast, and 5 is monumental. Okay, so well done there. We've now built up our vocabulary. And now the point over here is that we don't want to try and repeat ourselves. So the more words we have, the better. Um, let's see if we can go with a slightly different word now. Okay, so let's go with a classic word over here. So we're now on to the word worry. Now, worry is your everyday word. Um, and of course, I know that some of you probably can already think of a few words. Okay. However, I'm now going to give you, I'm going to do the same as last time, except I'm going to probably give you a few more clues. I'm going to give you about 3 letters per word. Okay. We'll start off easy and we'll work our way up the chain of difficulty. Okay. 3. I'm going to give you a few more because this is quite a long word. So I'm going to give you a few more letters for this one. This one, I'm going to give you number 4. I'm going to include the suffix actually. Okay. So, and number 5, I'll give you one more. Okay. Right. So we've got AXY. That might be the easiest one of all, to be honest. Um, let me see. How can I give you guys some more clues? Let's see here. Okay, so number 2, I can tell you, has 7 words. Sorry, 7 letters. Okay, number 3. It's one of these words that you probably know, except once you get it, it's a little bit difficult to get. And that one is 2, 3 is a difficult one because it's got 6 letters in it. 16, sorry. Ooh, interesting. 5. Okay, so some of you are coming up with really, really good answers over here. You're all very, very close to the actual answers. And 5, yeah. Okay, so Leondina says 1 is anxiety, 2 is concern, 3 is apprehension. If you're going for apprehension, you'll probably need anything to do with APRA. It's going to have 2 P's. Okay, we've got for Leondina, we have, sorry, not for Leondina, for Alida, anxiety, concern. Not sure about number 3. Number 4, what she's gone with here, it's a good word actually. She's gone for, just making sure I say this correctly in terms of my pronunciation. I need to, yeah, perturbation. That's it, perturbation. I just wanted to check where the stress was in that, whether it was at the beginning with p or with the stress with b. And the stress is on the b bit. Perturbation. Leondina and Alida agree that 5 is stress. Okay, so let's look at the answers, and we'll also have a little look at the pronunciation of any of these words that we need to look at. So number 1, you guys are absolutely right. It's anxiety. Number 2, concern. Number 3, try to spell this correctly. Number 3, apprehensive. Apprehensive. With this word, I mean, this is one of these sort of words where it's quite long, and sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to know where the stress is. Where the stress is. So when we think of, oh, wait a minute, nope, I've gone with the wrong one. I actually wanted to go with a different one. I wanted to go with, if I remind myself, that's the one. Sorry, I went with the shorter version. I actually wanted to go with apprehensiveness. Okay, so when we look at a word like this, where it's quite long, let's see if we can find out where the syllable stress is. Okay, so first of all, how many syllables do you think apprehensiveness has? Is it 2, 3, 4, 5? Okay, let's see. I'm going to say it slowly. Apprehensiveness. 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 How many syllables? Apprehensiveness. Is it 2? Is it 3 syllables? Is it 4 syllables, or is it 5 syllables? Apprehensiveness. Apprehensiveness. If you can tell me which syllable is the strongest one. Okay, so Leondina says there's 4. Apprehensiveness. Apprehensiveness. So it's actually going to be 5. Okay, it's going to be 5 syllables. Okay, and where is the syllable stress? Is it which syllable? Apprehensiveness. 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 Where is the stress on this one? Let me know. On the third, yes, that is correct. So we then go on to number 4. Well done, by the way, for getting number 4. It is a Latin word, so if you speak Spanish or Italian, you might know the word. So well done for those of you who got this right. The pronunciation for this, it's easy to think. It's easy to think that the stress might be on the per at the beginning. But it's not. It's actually on the B. So you've got the first one is per, ter, perturbation, 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 perturbation. So we end up with the bay bit, and we have to stretch that out because everywhere else is a little bit weak. So it's perturbation. Hi, Richard, says Roberto. Apologies for the delay. Don't worry about it. Thank you very much for joining. So number 4 is perturbation. Number 5 is stress. Okay. So well done. Now, of course, we're talking about, at the moment, we're just looking at synonyms for worry. And in this case, if we look at the word like perturbation, perturbation is a noun. If we go with a word like, if we go for the original word worry, that could be a noun, or that could be an anxiety, a noun or a verb. If we go with anxiety, we know that anxiety is a noun. So as we go through these, it's always important to make sure that we know which words are nouns and which ones are verbs, which ones are adjectives. Okay, so I'm going to introduce this as an element in the next one. We need to decide what the words are, and we need to decide what type of word it is. What category of word is it? Okay, so let's go with the next word. We're going to start off with, again, we're going to go with a word that I think everybody probably knows, and that is going to be grow. Okay, so let's see what you guys come out with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one shall be? Which one should I go with for number 5? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this one. Okay, number 5. I mean, with this one, because I've gone with well, yeah, we're probably going to go with the verb on this one. So there shouldn't be too much difference over here. And number 5 is prop. So let's see what you guys come out with. Probably, okay, so you got the verb. Okay, here the verb is grow. So because I've gone with the verb, all the synonyms here are going to be verbs. I think afterwards I'll do one whereby it's not. I'm not going to choose a verb after this one. Otherwise, it becomes a little bit too easy in that sense. But let's see what you guys come out with over here. I'll pick a different word category for the next one to make it a bit harder. But you've got, so the base word is grow. You've got in, de, exp, ext, and prob. Alida says increase. 2, not sure. 3, expand. 4, extend. 5, not sure. 2, you've gone with develop. Okay. If you agree with the leader, let me know. 5 is probably going to be the harder one of them. It's probably the hardest one. It's not. It's the one that I expect that most people don't know. And it's used for a certain sort of situations, because context is going to make a difference here. So Leondina says increase, develop, expand, extend. Not sure about 5. Okay, so And this is, I'm going to look at a bit of a context thing here. So I'll tell you what the answers are. Okay, so we've got one, which is increase. Okay, two, which is develop. Uh, three, which is expand. Four, which is extend. And five is a word called propagate. Okay, but now let's see if you guys can put these words into the correct context. Okay. Um, let's go with this. Okay, actually, I should put D to talk about height. Okay, which ones can I use? So, which ones do you think I can use to talk about something that's going to get larger, like a building? Um, if you could just tell me the numbers. So, if you think it's one, two, three, four, just tell me a one, two, three, four. C to talk about. So B to talk about money. C to talk about the population of a species, like tigers, for example, and D to talk about height. Um, can we use any of them to talk about height? I suppose it depends on the context. Height of a person or height of a building. Okay, so let's see what you guys come out with. You've got increase, develop, expand, extend, and propagate. Okay, let's see what you guys come out with. And then we can look at some sample sentences that you guys produce, and then we'll move on to the next one and the final one. And for this one, I am going to try and give you a word where it doesn't necessarily, it's not just one word category. I want to pick something slightly harder. Okay. The reason being is that I mean, when you take a simple word like grow, okay, so Roberto says A is 3 and 4, B is 1, C is 1, 2, 3, and D is 1, 2, 3, and 5. Okay, fair enough. We'll see. Um, interesting answers. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, when we take a word as simple as grow, um, it's easy to fall into the trap of using it too often, of always using the same word. And sometimes it's just not the right word to use because we've got better words that we can use to talk about or explain something. Okay. So I'll tell you what the answers are, so we don't run out of time. So answer A, okay, to talk about something That's going to get larger, like a building. Okay. Alida says A is 4, 3, B is 5, C is 2, D is 1. Okay. So for A, we can actually use 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can say increase, develop, expand, or extend. Yeah, we can do that. That's not a problem. B, to talk about money. This is a little bit harder. Can we use increase? Of course. Can we use develop? No. 3, expand. Mm, maybe in a certain context, but not necessarily. Extend. Potentially, but not necessarily. So if I'm being harsh, B is only really 1. Okay. C, to talk about the population of a species. Okay, we can use 1. Develop, no. Expand. It's not normal. Extend. I'm going to put this one in brackets because if you watch a wildlife program, they might use it, but very rarely. 5, definitely. And finally, D, to talk about height. Can't use any for 5. We can't use any for D. We could only use grow, actually. D could just be grow in this case. Increase, I suppose maybe 1, actually. I'm being unfair. 1 we could use. Okay, guys, so there we go. Those are the answers over there. So let's move on to the final word. For the final word, we're going to go with the words confused. Okay, confused. Let's see if you guys can get these one. Let's see how you guys do. For this one, I'm going to actually give you the letters. I'm just not going to put them in the right order. Okay, so because I don't expect you guys to necessarily know some of these words, and that's part of the point. But let's see how you guys do. So number 1, number 2, now I haven't changed the order of the spelling too much because I don't want to make it too hard. And 3. And let's go with this one. Okay, let's see what you guys come out with. I'm only going to give you 3 for this one. Now, again, we'll then have a little look at the context over here. Let me know what word category confused comes under. And we'll also, just to make sure, we'll also clarify whether the words that the options of these 3 do they all come under the same word category, or do they come under slightly different ones? Alida says now she's confused. So Alida is now confused. Alida? Okay, thank you, Alida. Right. Okay, so Alida, Leondina has come out with her answers. Let me know if you agree with Leondina. So we've got bewildered, 2, not too sure, and 3 is imprecise. Okay, so bewildered, imprecise, 2, not too sure. Well, it's good that we're finishing on a confusing note with the word being confused. Let me know if you agree with Leondina on this one. We've got bewildered, apparently, and number 3 is imprecise. But what about number 2? I will let you know about the context of using these words as well. I mean, look, again, it's easy to say I'm confused, for example, but it's nice to be able to use different words, and it's also nice to use different words depending on the context as well. And so Alida says imprecise is the only one that she is aware that she knows, and Roberto says, "Well done, Leondina." Okay, so let me know. Okay, I'll tell you what the answers are. Okay, so number 1, we've got. So congratulations, Leondina. You got the first one correct. Okay, so number 1 is bewildered. Oh wow, Irina F has come in with befuddled. Let's see if she is correct. So you can say I'm bewildered, for example. I mean, look, if you use the term bewildered, I'm bewildered, it means you are confused. You might even be a little bit surprised and confused, and you're quite lost. It's like I would use bewildered if you're having any work done to your house, and you then look at what the workmen have done, and you think it looks a bit strange. You're a bit confused as to how they got it wrong, for example, or how they got the measurement wrong. I mean, yes, you're going to be confused in terms of what someone has done and how they managed to make the mistake in the first place. So that would be a good time to use the word bewildered. I am bewildered, and of course, it's an adjective. Number 2. Irina F came in with befuddled. Now, I have to say, well done. But correct, it is befuddled. I'm befuddled. Again, it is an adjective, of course, befuddled. If you want to know where the stress is in this word, it's actually just on the F. So it's befuddled, befuddled, befuddled. Okay? Now, if you are befuddled, it means you can't think clearly. Okay? I am befuddled. So it means I can't think clearly and I'm very confused. Okay? So this is what befuddled is. So the first one is bewildered, and this is when you're talking about, you're trying to work out how someone made such a mistake. Number 2, befuddled, you can't think clearly. So you can say, I'm befuddled. I can't think clearly. I'm confused. Help me out, sort of thing. And number 3, you guys went with the word imprecise. And I can tell you that is correct. Imprecise. Now, why would we use this as a synonym for confused? Well, we'd use imprecise when the meaning in something is lost and we're confused as to what the meaning is. And therefore, we're trying to say why we are confused. And this is when we would use imprecise, such as this is unclear because this word is imprecise and doesn't make sense. Okay, so we would use imprecise if we're trying to explain why we are confused about something, and this could be to do with we have to pick out something in particular, like numbers that don't make sense, some ones working out that is incorrect, the wrong type of language. And that's when we would use the word imprecise. So let's just go through. We've got imprecise, we've got befuddled, we've got bewildered as part of the end over here. We've also learned words like propagate, extend, expand, develop, increase. We've also looked at apprehensiveness, concern, stress, perturbation. And we've also looked at a few others as well, such as vast and monumental. So we've looked at quite a lot of language today. As always, guys, make sure you like and share the video. And my suggestion is pick at least 3 of the words that we've looked at today, add it to your personal dictionary, and try and use them as soon as possible. It's always important to activate this language. For those of you who participated in the lesson, such as Irina F., Roberto, Elida, and Leondina, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And well done, because all of you did well today. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow at the same time with another live lesson at 3 o'clock. Tomorrow we're going to look at word collocation. This is really important. This is what we do when we take new words and we need to think, how can we link them? How do we use them in a sentence? You too, Alida, thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. You too, Leondina, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow as well. And thank you very much, everybody. Take care. Roberto says, thanks, Rich. Take care. See you tomorrow. Have a great evening, you too. And you as well, Irina F. Okay, everyone. See you tomorrow. Thank you so much, and bye for now.